better story than when I first met Claudine, my wife, and she had to go home because she had to go watch the kids get their new belts in karate. But when I first met her, she was 23 years old, just out of college, got this killer job making 60 grand a year. She was like the queen, except every single day, she was bawling her eyes out at work. And I'd go to her and say, what are you doing? Why are you crying? And she's like, I just want to ride a horse. And I was like, well, you should. And she goes, I don't have one. I said, well, that'll get in the way. Kind of hard to ride a horse if you don't have one. How about if we manifest one? She goes, oh, we just manifest one. Sure, we just manifest, right? And I was like, what do you mean? We'll just manifest one. And she's like, oh, we just manifest, sure. She says, I have a job. I have bills. We just manifest.
Can you imagine being married to this guy? Jesus.
Well, I'm easy to make dinner for. I just drink drinks.
Right.
Exactly. So she, of course, is completely resistant and tells me I'm an idiot and that manifesting isn't true and that she's not going to buy into some, voodoo thing that I'm doing. And I said, fine. You want me to prove to you that manifesting works? She goes, you ain't going to prove it. I go, oh, yeah? What if I manifested a horse for me? And she's like, you're going to manifest a horse for you. I go, yeah, but I don't want the stinky, big animal kind. I want the Ferrari kind. How about if I manifest someone gives me a free Ferrari? If I manifest someone gives me a free Ferrari, will you believe that we can manifest a $150,000 show-jumping horse for you? And she says, if you get a free Ferrari, I'll believe it. I said, fine. So I just did what I was doing my thing. I was just following the steps. Part of what we're going to talk about tomorrow is gratitudes, right? So I'm just driving. Now, at the time, she's like, so let's get this right. You have a Jeep Cherokee. Right, this is 11 years ago. You got a Jeep Cherokee with cloth seats. You have manual windows and manual locks. And somebody's going to give you a free Ferrari. And I'm like, that's right. So I'm driving in my Jeep Cherokee, right? And I'm just making fun, I'm having fun. It has no CD player and the radio sucks, so I make all my friends sing, right? We're singing, we're having fun. I called this car the Unity vehicle. My friends were like, why is it the Unity vehicle? I said, just wait. We'd all get out and I'd say, now, we're going to have a Unity moment. They say, what are we going to do? I say, everyone lock the door. Click, right? I just made it fun. So about 3 months into it, my dad calls me up out of the blue. And he says, I'm marrying Kathy. And I said, yeah, I know you're marrying Kathy. Well, I got a 3-car garage, and she has this other car. And at the time, he had a Rolls, he had a Porsche, and he had a 500 SL, right? And he's like, and she's got this Lexus and blah, blah, blah. Do you want it? Now, I play the perfect game. So whatever's offered, I take it. So I take the Lexus. Thank you. I show it to Claudine. She says, not a Ferrari, doesn't count. Okay. So I'm driving my free Lexus. And at the time, I'd been married before, and I had Trevor at that time. And so I'm picking Trevor up at school, and I'm putting Trevor into the car seat in the back seat of my Lexus. And all of a sudden, it hits me. If I would have got a Ferrari, I couldn't pick Trevor up at school. Mm-hmm. And I'm committed to having a relationship with Trevor and being a part of his life. And I was like, that's interesting. So I'm driving back, and I'm thinking to myself, what did I think a Ferrari was? Because at this time, we were having this conversation in our mastermind about you always get the essence of what you want. And so I thought a Ferrari would be luxurious. So I'm looking at Lexus is pretty luxurious. And I thought it would be fast, right? And I had the GS something or other, GS 300 or something, right? And I was like, right? That's pretty fast, too. It's a sport sedan. But I was thinking, what is it really? And really, only the guys can appreciate this. What I thought the Ferrari was this. Guys, when you get out of the Ferrari, it's like, hello there, hi. I've brought my Ferrari, ladies and gentlemen. Yes, would anyone like to sit in it? Yes, it's outside. But, did you see the Ferrari out there? That's mine, thank you. Yes. Would you like to see my Ferrari? Right? I thought that the Ferrari would be like, hello. Like, suddenly my esteem would go very high. And I realized that going from the Jeep to the Lexus had the same effect.